Hey, it's Nate, and today I am doing Make You Feel My Love by Bob Dylan, and there's also the great version by Adele. It's got a simple, satisfying piano part built around a really interesting and beautiful chord progression. Let's jump in. Okay, first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link in the description, and that's going to help you follow along and see where the chords and the lyrics line up with each other. The song starts out by jumping right into the first verse. It looks like this. First, we've got a D flat major chord. That's going to be D flat, F, and A flat. And this is middle C here, so you get the octave. And then with my second finger in my left hand, I'm going to do a D flat bass note an octave lower. After that, we've got an A flat over C. So for the left-hand bass note, you can just sort of tuck your first finger under like that. And then we've got C, E flat, and A flat. So this is an inverted A flat major, and I'm using 1, 2, and 5 for the fingers. Just note how nicely that flows. Our fifth finger can stay on that A flat as we step down. Next, we've got A flat minor over B. It's gonna look like that. So top two notes stay the same there in the right hand. I'm using my second finger here on a B for the bass note, and then B, E flat, and A flat there. So we've done a little finger gymnastics here, crossing the left hand first finger under, and then shifting the hand to put the second finger on that B. That just avoids us getting our first finger up on that D flat. So next up, we're gonna move to a G flat chord. That's gonna be B flat, D flat, and G flat up top. And I'm using my fifth finger for the bass note on the G flat an octave below. And we're in 4/4 time, so each of these measures get 4 counts. So just holding out the chords, let's walk through those changes again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And after that G flat major, we have a G flat minor. All we need to change is move that B flat down to an A natural with our first finger. Although, just to set us up for what's next, I'm gonna move my left hand and hop second finger to take over that same G flat bass note, because then we're in great position to move to this D flat major. So our fifth finger can play that low D flat bass note. And the right hand is now doing an inversion on the D flat we did before. So it's inverted down one, A flat, D flat, and F. Okay, just a couple more chords here. We've got this E flat 9. I really love that chord. Notice that coming from the D flat, these two notes are gonna stay the same. So that's really smooth there. So fourth finger in the left hand on that E flat bass note, and then G, B flat, D flat, and F in the right hand. Okay, just a couple more chords here. We've got G flat over A flat. So I'm coming up to that A flat bass note and doing a root position G flat major chord, G flat, B flat, D flat. And I'm using 1, 2, and 3 there. That's really smooth from the previous chord. And finally, we're gonna land in yet another inversion of D flat. This one is lower and it sounds more final here. So D flat bass note, F, A flat, and D flat. The measure with the E flat 9 has 2 chords in it, so they're gonna split that measure evenly, each getting 2 counts. E flat 9 on counts 1 and 2, and then G flat over A flat on counts 3 and 4. So that line one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before we get too far, let's add the right hand rhythm. So the right hand rhythm in this song is really consistent. It's just pulsing on eighth notes. So we're thinking in eighth notes, not just 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's just practice it for a minute on that D flat chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll just repeat the measure over and over again. So one thing to really make it sound like the recording is to add little accents on 1 and the and after 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and beat 4 as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And it gets a little relentless, but we're just basically going to be doing that the whole song. So let me play through that whole verse with that rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And when the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case. Now hop the second finger. I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. So at the end of the first verse there, I like how it just sort of does the rhythm on the top note of the chord for a second before we jump back to the verse for the second verse. You now know the chord progression for most of the song. There are these two bridge sections, and before we learn the chord progression for that, I want to give you a few more optional details to really do all the details of that first verse. And it all happens within the first two measures. Sounds like this. When the rain is blowing in your face. Okay, so they both revolve around doing a little back and forth between that D flat voicing and the A flat voicing, but using it sort of as a decoration. And the first thing that happens in the song, and it only does this once, is this little, and it's a pickup note. It's the and after 4 if you were counting off a measure. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, like that. So I'm going to hit that A flat inversion and then land on the downbeat in that D flat chord. And you hear this octave. So you're going to do that, I guess it's an A flat over D flat on the and after 4, and then drop to the low octave and start pulsing the rhythm here, holding the top octave still. And then to get the fingers in the left hand right and smooth, you're going to just want to take over that top octave as you pulse. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it does that same back and forth move between those two chords, just on the 4 and then everything else can continue as we had it. So after that first verse, we have the second verse. Looks like this. It's the exact same thing. And in fact, he doesn't do any of the fancy stuff, even on that A flat there. He doesn't do the back and forth. You just keep it really simple. So the lyrics are different. And then the one detail I want to add is just on the very last chord. When you land on that low D flat, there's going to be a little before we go to the bridge. So if you weren't already doing it, I don't think I was, this time I'm going to finger this chord 1, 2, and 4. That frees up our fifth finger to do the little melody note. So landing on that last measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So just using the fifth finger on the E flat and right back, and 4 and. Okay, let's jump to the bridge. So here's the chords for the bridge. We start out on G flat major, and it's the same root position G flat major we did for the G flat over A flat before, but now we're an octave higher. And I've kept my left hand in the same zone it ended up on. I'm just doing that really low second finger bass note there, and that's for a measure. And then we're just gonna jump down to a D flat root position. Then we've got this F augmented, just for 2 counts here. I'm gonna use my third finger there, and that's gonna be F, A, and C sharp, or it probably says D flat, but chord spelling, that should be a C sharp. So just 2 counts on that, and then up to G flat, and dip back down to the D flat. And there is a little detail on this D flat here on the 4 and. If you want to do it, you can just use your fourth and second finger to hit the E flat and the G flat there instead of the middle note. And 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're back up to G flat, back down to D flat. Now we've got a new chord again. We've got a E flat minor 7. So I'm going to come up to E flat here. And it's going to be B flat, D flat, E flat, and G flat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and finally landing on an A flat major. So same as the inversion we did in the verse. I'm using my first finger for the bass note. Now this is a moment where the piano rhythm kind of stops. So we're just gonna hit it and hold and just pulse quarter notes in the left hand. No doubt in my mind where you belong. 2, 3, 4, and then we go into the third verse. Let's just play through that whole bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. 2, 3, 4, and 1. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. Then I'd go hungry. So we're in the third verse. Nothing new in the third verse. There are no extra decorations in the right hand, and it's just the lyrics that are different. Then we go into the first instrumental section. Looks like this. It's the same as the verse progression, but because there are no vocals, the piano can speak a bit more, and there are a few extra details that you can do. One detail is the right hand chord doesn't hit on count 1. We get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So there is a little decoration there that you can do with the second finger on the E flat. Once again on the 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And I'm just harmonizing that hit of that note with the top note of the chord. So again on 4 and, just going back and forth between the A flat and the D flat, just like we did at the beginning of the first verse. And then for the rest of the sequence, it's the same, and he doesn't do any more decorations there. Now, to give this part a little more interest and to give you an option that you could do for the whole thing, for the left hand rhythm, just to give it some more movement, we're gonna also play on the and after 2. So if we're just hanging out on that D flat chord, remember we were already accenting the and after 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm just gonna do an extra left hand hit there as well. And then we have, actually I like fourth finger there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because that is leading into the second bridge. So here's the chords to the second bridge. Notice it is the exact same as the first bridge, but the last chord, instead of doing that A flat, we're gonna do a G flat over A flat, and we're gonna hop our hand down and do it the exact same way it appears in the verses, and we're gonna continue the playing pattern. So that last line, the winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. Happy. So then we're in verse 4. Verse 4 is just like the last couple of verses, no extra decorations, and it does not do the thing at the end. That only happens twice in the song when it's going to one of the two bridges. But verse 4 does lead directly into the outro. So here's the chords to the outro. It's the same thing, and it is a lot like the instrumental where we're gonna do the, although this time instead of the, gonna do kind of like what we did in the bridge with just a little more harmony on the same rhythm. So there's an arpeggio there. You could just do that decoration. I kind of do it different every time. It's a little hard to hear, but basically you want to hit and then just fire off some 16th notes on the notes of the chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and, maybe hit the outside notes together on the 4 and then E and on individual notes. nothing here. There's another similar arpeggio here. You can do it however you want. Then we go to that G flat minor, and by now the song has really faded out. But I'm gonna play the progression through. It's hard to fade out on your own. So one little option here that I always hear is you can do that melody pattern there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just on an F and an E flat. 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the song is winding to a close here. Maybe slow down a little bit. And on this lower D flat. I might even do octaves there at the end, just so it feels really final. And then the song is over. All right, thank you for sticking with me. I am now going to do a full playthrough so you can see how all the parts fit together. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this one. Okay, here's my version of Make You Feel My Love. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When evening shadows and the stars appear and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I go hungry, I go black and blue. I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing